Welcome to the Lived Experience Project, where Black sheep unite by sharing their lived experience of overcoming adversity. A safe environment where anyone can learn about mental health from the perspective of someone that's actually been through the shit. Guys, as always, your host, Corey Preston. It's going to be a hell of a show in 1, 2, 3. How's it going, guys? So one of my friends actually brought this up recently, and it was about dealing with a family member that was being toxic and just really provoking a lot of stressful situations. And they asked me for advice on how do you deal with a situation like that when it's a indirect or direct family member. And my answer to that is what my answer would be to a negative friend or any type of person in your life, even in the workplace. If there's people that are literally taking real estate in your mind, you need to do this, guys. This will substantially help you with promoting happiness in your life. I want you to take a piece of paper, write a T chart, just a big T like this, and put positive on one side and negative on the other. You're then going to write out all of your close circle and your indirect people that are in your life that are influential, that are talking to you on a regular basis or even once or twice a month. It doesn't really matter. And then you're going to put all these people into columns, negative and positive. You're going to find that once you do this, you're going to really start thinking more about those relationships because you're actually writing it down and visually looking at it, which promotes this type of thinking that most people don't ever cross. And what it is you're actually doing some searching within. And many people don't actually, we compartmentalize everything because stress is not an enjoyable experience, right? We don't know how to deal with our emotions, so we put them to the side. But the problem is when we put our emotions to the side, it's really getting stored up in our body. And at any point, what happens is you get a boiling point. You start acting out passive aggressively. And when this happens, guys, I'm telling you right now, you start becoming the asshole. Right? People are like, why is Jerry there acting like such an asshole? Why doesn't he just communicate? And some people just don't know how to communicate. So I want you to look at your relationships because recently I had to sever a few of mine, and it was work related with contracts. Basically, I wasn't being paid, I was being lied to and everything else. But I believed in the vision of what this individual was doing, so I drank the Kool-Aid. But that only goes so far. And if you're getting stressed out all the time by anybody, including family, then guys, you need to cut that off. And if it's a family member that you're always going to see what you can do, and I highly recommend this, before you cut it off, be direct with them. Call them, have a coffee with them, sit down and communicate your needs and your emotions because they matter. Okay? I'm going to say this right now. Though there's a traditional way that the older generations abided by of basically taking care of their family members and putting their emotions to the side. And this is because they didn't have emotional intelligence and self-awareness education back then. They didn't have the internet back then. They didn't have all the resources that we currently have. But you know what, guys? You have those resources. You're listening to me blab here. If there's no way to get through to these people and you actually open up that channel of communication and you tell them, whether it's an email, on the phone, in person, you tell them how you're actually feeling and they don't respect that, then that's when you separate yourself from them. It can be a heartbreaker to do that because you want nothing more than to be in their life. But I'm telling you right now, the amount of pain they're inflicting upon you is only going to make you a shittier person. You need to surround yourself with people that are going to promote happiness, people that believe in you, people that are willing to be on the same wavelength as you. Because once you do that, you're going to start increasing your self esteem because you are valuable. You are worth it. You are loved. You are cared about. But you know what? Sometimes these people, they're hurt and they don't understand their emotions and they're going to autopilot and they don't know anything else. So you have to have a little sympathy for them, but sympathy doesn't mean completely subject yourself to abuse all the time. Put your boundaries in place. Say, I don't appreciate how you've been acting, and I would sincerely appreciate it if you could talk to me with a more respectful tone. And you know what? Two things will happen. Either basically they will respect you and be, whoa, shit, somebody called me on my BS. Maybe I should start doing some self-inventory and do some reflection. Or option B, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing because unfortunately we have this thing called the subconscious mind and we are programmed from our past emotional transactions. We accumulate. So if you're always around shitty people, you don't know any other way to think, right? And the problem with that is it's almost like an atmosphere where if new information comes in, it gets incinerated. And it's really unfortunate. But as much as terrible as it is to separate yourself, it's not, because you're building your own mental fortitude. And when you're ready to come back to them and say, hey, I did all this great work, I have the ability to help you, and they still don't want to move forward with that, and they don't understand what they're doing is abusing you and hurting you, then yes, guys, cut them out of your life. Because it doesn't matter. There is no, like my family, for example, when I was a drug addict and everything else, it got to the boiling point where they needed to protect their own heart and they had to separate themselves from me. And it goes both ways, whether it's your in-laws, your parents, your brother, your sister, or your cousins. If someone's treating you like shit all the time, cut that out. Because what's going to happen is you can do all the hard, heavy lifting you want. You can work your ass off. But at the end of the day, your environment will fold you in like a fucking lawn chair. It will, every time. You need to create an environment that is conducive with your own growth. You have your own issues to deal with. You can't take on the blunt of other people's shit right now. Get stronger, heal yourself, learn as much as you can about your own mental health, about mindfulness, about self-awareness. There is infinite resources on the internet, guys. YouTube, the internet, you name it. So as horrible as it comes across, like, oh, I have to cut this person out. Well, you know what? When did you do that with a friend? If a friend kept abusing you and stealing from you and not respecting you or allowing you to get a word in or whatever it may be, eventually you probably cut that friend out of your life because they're bringing you so much grief. Guys, we're all human beings and we all deserve to be respected. So next time that you are so upset, I want you to get a piece of paper. I want you to just write down that T-chart, positive and negative relationships, and see who's on the right and see who's on the left. And I'm telling you right now, if people are making you smile and they're making you happy, those are the people that are going to bring you to the highest success with your mental health 100%. You guys have been incredible. I truly hope that this has helped somebody out there. Love you so much. Peace.